I will say that if it's been 2 weeks and you haven't followed after the event, your likelihood of getting anything after that drops substantially.
Yeah.
So try and get it within a 10-day window would be my recommendation for all your follow-up. It's not to say you can't still try, especially if they're your lower valued leads, but anything after 10 days, or after 14 days, it gets pretty tenuous that anyone's going to even remember or care.
Yeah.
Welcome, affiliated listeners, to another, not a special episode, but your favorite episode, because it's Pillow Talk. Yeah. I don't like what you did with Pillow. Can you do it one more time, Thomas, just in case the cameras didn't catch that one? So, always some of our favorite times where Thomas and I get to snuggle up, cozy to each other, hold our pillows, and talk about everything that you need to know about affiliate marketing, ClickBank, and the overall marketing world. So, and maybe life. Sometimes we talk about life, don't we, Thomas?
A lot of times. We should talk about it more.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Talk
but
about
not
it
today.
outside the podcast.
We do. Yeah, that's true. But not today. Today we are going to be talking about, I think, something really important that we know is coming up, because if those of you that are traveling, you might have noticed that it felt a little quiet, and we're about to blitz into event season, kicking off with...
It was like 2 events back to back with like Affiliate Summit West and Dubai.
Yep.
And it was like, and then all of a sudden there's nothing.
Yes. Yeah,
and
I know.
Now we've got it. Bam, bam, bam for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I just when I started to think, man, it's been a little while, it's going to be by the end of it, I'm going to think, I never want to travel again. That's what it might feel like. But we love travel. It's so impactful to your business. It's one of the most important things you need to do in the affiliate industry for new tactics, new relationships, and most importantly, new traffic or offers, whatever it might be on which side you happen to do. So let's talk a little bit about it. So first, I think we should just talk about the events that are coming up.
Yeah.
I know you have a schedule. There's going to be some other ones in between there, and we'll kind of fill in the gaps. But what we figured we'd do is we're going to go and just talk about the events and maybe... because it's kind of hard to choose which one do I go to. You don't always necessarily want to go to them all. If you do, kudos to you. But not everyone's going to be there. So we'll kind of give an idea of who we think should go to what conference, what those conferences are going to be like, maybe what that should be focused for you. And then on the tail end, let's talk a little bit about not just success at the conference, but when you have these compact schedules, how do you make sure your follow-up is shored up, solid, and good, so you actually make the ROI instead of just make a lot of memories that fade far too quickly. With these gray hairs, I feel like this is just gray hair represents my memory getting worse and worse and
You're getting
worse.
wiser, as I say it.
Wiser, I don't know.
My sister-in-law, who I saw last week, was just like, "Oh, you're getting wiser." I was like, "What?"
Yes.
Oh,
I know. That's why we're celebrating my 55th birthday this year, even though I am not turning 55. But that's
and Michael on the opposite aging trend.
Yeah, exactly. So that's great. I'm hoping I settle at some point where I'll be old for my age, and then eventually I'll be young for my age. That's my hope. Maybe in my 60s, when I look 50, people are like, "Oh, that's really, you look so young." Anyway, so let's. I know you have a schedule there, Thomas. So why don't we start going through what's the next big conference coming up?
Next one coming up real soon is Affiliate Takeover, which is July 9th and 10th in Barcelona. As we
the
say
home
in
of the most delicious pork you could ever have.
What's that called again?
I don't remember.
On the spot, something ham.
Yeah. I just remember seeing it everywhere, and I felt like I was in carnivore heaven.
I just like saying tapas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So get your Spanish lisp on as you head to Barcelona. So let's talk a little about Affiliate Takeover. I'll even take this one. This is a first-time event.
Yeah.
And what's really substantial about it...
First time they've hosted this event.
Yes. First time they've hosted this event. But the people that are putting it on... they're very well known of being successful at these events because they did the Affiliate World events when that first started. And actually in Barcelona was the last time that they hosted an Affiliate World. And I could tell you amazing events. I found the Affiliate Worlds were like, holy cow.
So was that 2 years ago? Was the last one they hosted before someone else acquired it?
No, I think that was
3 years ago? Gosh,
3 or 4 years ago.
Flat circle for me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was the last time they did it in Barcelona. And then they've done... They did somewhere else and then Budapest, but they did it. I think it was 3 years ago because I remember it was, anyway, let's not try and describe time.
Yeah.
There might've been another in between that wasn't Barcelona as well. Doesn't matter. Yeah. This is anyway, these guys do a great job, put on really, really high quality events. And this one in particular, their main focus is they really wanted to get the cleanest. And I think they thought of it as like, white hat or more the cleaner, pure affiliate marketing conferences. This is not to speak to anything else, but we know other conferences focus on certain verticals that could be a little bit more aggressive, sometimes a little bit harder to run traffic on. And Affiliate Takeover is bringing really experienced people that make great events and bring great partners into it, but also a slightly different focus. They have some main sponsors like GiddyUp and other ones that are a little bit more centered. And ClickBank, of course, we're sponsoring. I was going to get there. But some different things. Yes, we are sponsoring the event too because we're so excited for the impacts and even the amount of people that showed up in a short time for this event. It seems incredibly promising. But this one's going to have a little bit of a different blend. We'll have your normal affiliate stuff that you might see in the ClickBank world and also some different affiliates and different products. But all of it to me seems very, very exciting. So what about you? What kind of thoughts do you think for who would be the right fit for this event?
I think it's anyone who wants to go to Barcelona, but tax write-off for that purpose.
And side note, guys, right after the event, there is a very large music festival happening in Barcelona with some pretty cool artists. So party it up after you get some networking.
But it's what I was really impressed about this team and their last Barcelona event was how they really curated a large room. Quite a few people were at that one. Again, that was Affiliate World. This is Affiliate Takeover, different branding, different business, all that kind of stuff. But how high level it is.
Yeah.
So I kept bumping into people and just started striking up conversations with strangers. And I don't think I met a single person who was a newbie, who didn't really know what they're doing, who was just, I'm just trying to figure this out. If they were trying to figure something out, it was maybe a new traffic channel, but they're already, quote unquote, crushing it at whatever they're doing. So it's full of experts who are very good at what they do. The speaker lineup was great. And then just the networking potential there was very high. The tough part with Barcelona and some of the European cities that we've been to different conferences is that they're more spread out just because I assume they're older and there's harder places to find venues. So like where you post up gets a little tricky where you want to be. I stayed right near the event. I'm pretty sure this one is in the same venue as the last time Affiliate World was in Barcelona.
It is, correct, yeah.
And I found it pretty easy actually to get bikes around town. I think there's the bike rental things like Climb. I can't remember what the one is there.
It will be hot as hell though. So if you're biking around, bring an extra shirt.
Yeah.
And even I will say also, they don't have air conditioning in their subway system.
I didn't even know they had a subway system.
Yeah. They have the subway system's easy to use. It is pretty sweaty though. Gotcha. So just be prepared for some fun smells.
Yeah.
That's it.
And keep your phone in your pocket and your nice watches at home. So.
Yes, that's the other thing. So, but I want to actually echo too. I think one of the things that's really exciting, especially what they told about this event, that I think is even different than the affiliate worlds that they're going to do. I think they're doing even better is the in-event networking. Not only is the content great, but the way they create spaces for happy hours, bar areas, and really, really fantastic networking at the event. Where sometimes we know and we've talked about like sometimes Affiliate Summit East and lots of these conferences, you don't even need a ticket to get value. And sometimes it's not necessarily easy for very high level people. But Affiliate Takeover, based on the way I've seen the speaker lineup and the way they have the floor structured, that ticket is going to be immensely valuable because you want to be there, particularly too, since this is the first time they're doing this particular event, not first time doing events. There might not be the normal party establishment around the conference and networking events around it.
Yeah, I would say this, like I know people have been, because this event did pop up.
Yeah.
Kind of out of the blue. So I know some of the venues for parties and stuff are a bit, so I think there's still some that are TBD, which is close to it is odd. So I think the networking outside of the event is a little up in the air. ClickBank is doing a roadshow party there. It's a little more limited in capacity. We're kind of keeping it a little more exclusive, but we are doing that. But like you mentioned, we're a sponsor there. We'll have a booth there right near the bar. And also, we are the bar sponsor.
Yeah.
So there's going to be themed cocktails there. And then I think from 5 to 6 is our happy hour. You can shake down people at the booth for a drink coupon if you need to for that.
Yep.
But do swing by, say hi to the team. There's going to be some giveaways at the booth, all that kind of good stuff.
I will load you up with drink tickets as you come to me. Just all of them. I don't want the drink tickets, so you guys could have them.
No, but it's shaping up to be a good one. I'll say this about the Affiliate Takeover team there. ClickBank usually does not sponsor events without first attending. We kind of want to get a feel for it, make sure it's the right vibe, make sure it's going to be good for us. This is one of the only ones I've seen where we have forked over cash to sponsor something because we trust this team's going to do a great job with it. Yeah. Not just on the event overall for us, but who they actually bring to it and that there's going to be a solid chance at ROI from it from a brand perspective, but just from anyone else who's attending.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's so significant that we felt so confident and so excited about what we've seen from this conference. We were willing to throw down that sponsorship in a way that we don't normally do. So it was really exciting. I'm going to add one last thing and we'll go on to the next event after it. Just as a teaser, people are looking oftentimes for, hey, what do I promote right now? Summer sucks, right? Sometimes they could be tough. There are going to be offers that are going to be built for summer there. In the gadget space, the economy space, I really, really think it's an awesome opportunity to maybe even see new offers for you as an affiliate that you don't normally have exposure to these other conferences that right now are perfect to be promoting and offering.
Brief segue, which we do a lot of, but
brief is always tough with me, Tom. I don't know.
Well, just real quick for our listeners, like what does gadget mean? That's kind of like an internal thing we've taken in a little bit, but like, what is like a gadget offer?
Yeah, e-com, I guess, would be the better term instead of our internal use. So think of the way I like to think about it, they're either going to be specific physical products that you want to probably buy multiples of. Like, for example, whether it's a security camera that's really helpful when you have property crime going up during the summer months and also during any sort of slow economic times, right? Or it could be something where there are lights, there's heaters, there's coolers, there's power plugs, the little just basic stuff that people like to buy. But the real value here is there's going to be high-end versions of these items. And these are going to be in the more mid-ticket value range. So value-oriented e-com products are really, really great right now as people are looking to pinch money, but they don't necessarily want to stop spending. Because consumers and Americans love to buy, but they want to find a way to feel like they're getting a deal. So these are going to be really, really fantastic, especially like cooling stuff during the summer, and allows you to be seasonal. And the great thing, too, at this conference, it also gives you something to sell in Q4 when things get a little bit harder. You could actually dial up your spend and really help carry yourself right into January when health picks back up.
Yeah, and we have quite a few of e-com gadgets coming on board. And for the DR audience we have, who is now just tuned out because we mentioned e-com, I want to highlight that this is more brand responsey, right? It's something that is very much a direct response funnel.
Yes.
But it's more of a gadget type product, not so much the supplement products that you might be used to seeing. I haven't seen really if I see a VSL, it's more harkens back to the infomercial times, right? And some of these pages are more built around the kind of infomercial feel where you're incentivized to buy now, not later. You get a deal now. There's all this kind of stuff. And then I've been very impressed at the payouts and the CPAs that these gadget offers command and how well they can convert. So
yeah, for sure. And that's a good thing. Think about it more as slap chop and ShamWows in terms of some of those products. So beautiful. So what's the next conference we have, Thomas?
The next one after that is Affiliate Summit East on August 4th and 5th. So roughly a month after Barcelona. You can head over to Manhattan, New York City, the Big Apple, right in Times Square.
I was really hoping you were going to pull some like Alicia Keys out and just give me a
New York. Nailed it. Where were we? Anyway,
Affiliate Summit East, right?
It's
the old classic.
It's the OG.
Yes. And I really love the timing of this too. Like, I think that's one of the great things being right at the beginning of August, particularly because what is about to happen in September and the end of August, you start to see that uptick of health going into back to school season. So
people
it's really
testing new offers for Q1, right? They're starting to spin those up and make sure the testing's good, so you can kind of get a little sneak peek at what you should be scaling really big in January.
Yeah, and it's a great domestic conference too. We get a lot of Canadian marketers, Canadian
Miamians.
Canadian Miami. We get you get a good blend. You get some people coming over internationally because there's a lot of direct flights to New York, so it makes it a lot easier versus some of the other locations you might run into. So great blend of folks. I think you will get at this conference though. It's definitely, you get a lot more newbies. You might get a lot more traffic or offers.
Yeah, it's more diverse.
It's more diverse for sure. Yeah. As for who should attend, what do you think? Who are some of the people that should be attending or focusing on Affiliate Summit East?
Well, you mentioned this is a good one if you're like, okay, I know I need to start traveling. I don't want to forego. Maybe I'm newer. Maybe I don't have the budget to go to Barcelona if I'm US based or something like that. This is a good one. There's lots of direct flights to New York, like you mentioned. Staying in New York isn't always the cheapest, but it is direct flight ability, very easy to get to. So if you're wanting to just kind of mix and mingle, get a sense of the space, I think it's worth going. The speaker lineups are usually pretty solid if you want to go into it. It's also, I think if you're affiliate, I think the tickets are pretty cheap. I can't remember where they're at. Oh, sorry. Something we didn't mention, affiliatetakeover.com. If you want to go check out Affiliate Takeover, affiliatesummit.com/east is where you go get more info about Affiliate
We'll put
Summit
these all in
East.
the show notes too. It'll make it a lot easier.
And then so I think if you're anywhere from like an intermediate to advanced, whatever that means for you, it's a good chance to go out and kind of mix and mingle. You can get a sense of the different side parties that are around Manhattan that are popping up. Some people don't even go. They just post up at juniors or something like that and just kind of have meetings there. Usually better if you're more established and kind of don't have to go actually into the event. If you are newer, I would recommend going into the event, watching some speakers.
Go to some booths.
Is it the meat market they do there?
Meat market,
Yeah. Doing the meat market, striking out conversations, both busting out of the internet bubble and just getting some FaceTime.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was going to say the same thing. I think one of the real things I love about ASE is definitely very accessible for a lot of levels and individuals, and the fact that you could get a lot of value without getting a ticket if that's not something you're into or something you're able to do. The parties, the networking around it are so valuable. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, New York's my favorite American city, so I just love going to be in New York. It's such good energy.
The rooftop bars.
Yeah, always really good. But yeah, I think because that event's been so established too, there are marketers that go to it every year, pencil it in. It's very recurring.
It's so funny. I don't want to knock the affiliate summits overall, but so many times people are like, oh, it's affiliate summit. I'm going to know all the people there. And almost every year, they're always better than what people think are going to be. And at the last minute, everyone ends up going.
Yep.
It's like, oh, this actually ended up being great.
Yeah.
So it's funny. It's like people think it's been around for a long time, so it's not going to be worth going to. But if you don't travel too often, it's a great place to reconnect with people that are in the space you haven't seen for a while and really strike up some new conversations too, because it brings in a fresh crowd for that same reason.
Well, and especially this year is like, if you think about it, the most traditional conference, there hasn't been one that's happened now it would have been March. So you're going to be, by that time frame, 5 months potentially for some people without significant travel. So I anticipate it might be an extra special Affiliate Summit East this year.
And and ClickBank is doing a roadshow there. This one is very exclusive to Diamonds and Platinum Plus only, unless you can get a sponsor ticket to that as well. So if you are Diamond or Platinum Plus listening to this, that's $1 million and up and $5 million and up on the platform. And you're like, oh, I think I'm going to go. We're almost sold out already. So I would hit up your account manager ASAP if you want to invite to that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so being in New York, it feels like it has to be exclusive, VIP.
Well, people have been like, why are your events going more exclusive? It's just a different strategy we're trying, right? We used to big 200-300 person events at everywhere we went, and those are great. They generate a lot of conversation, but we're really seeing too, can we cater to our top clients and other people around that circle with our partners in the space who are sponsoring, and really see if we can cultivate more concentrated room, and what does that do for us? So really just trying out a different strategy here for a couple events and seeing what that does. Yeah.
Not that we're going away from doing big parties though. So for people that sometimes still like big events, not like there's no opportunities and we'll never do them ever again. Especially I'd imagine thinking like Affiliate Summit West, which is always fun for us to do things there. So fantastic. Well, that's a great one. Obviously really exciting. What do we have coming up next? What's the next offer?
So the next one, Affiliate Summit East wraps up on the August 5th.
Oh yeah, the dates.
Yeah, Affiliate Summit East was August 4th and 5th, affiliatesummit.com/east. The next event after that, the big one, is Affiliate World Europe, which is in Budapest, and that's September 4th and 5th. So what I do love about this buildup of all these events in the last half of the year is, for a while, things are pretty 4 weeks apart. So if you are a road warrior, want to hit them all, you've got some cadence to there for a bit. Yeah. We'll say why that starts changing as we get past these ones, but
you'll just see.
But for the first three, they're pretty steady cadence if you're going to all these. This is Affiliate World Europe, Budapest. We did talk a lot about Affiliate World. We talked about Affiliate Takeover. The big difference here is the team running Affiliate Takeover used to run the Affiliate Worlds. Now it's a different team running those. Still same branding, still same business there. A lot of the same sponsors and speakers and all that same kind of format. So we expect, and some big parties around there and everything too. So we expect still good things from it. But yeah, that's affiliateworldconferences.com/Europe if you want to go check that out. And then again, September 4th and the 5th. And we're also doing a party there. Yes. And we're a sponsor. So just find us on the booth.
Always good. Yeah, for sure. Budapest always first, I want to say, One thing they changed this year that I hear is a huge benefit from what happened last year. It's going to be in the city center. So everything's going to be very
cool.
centrally located. And Budapest is an amazing city from what I hear. I haven't been there personally, but everyone says it's just very unique and just so cool.
Well,
Such a
everyone
cool
who
place to
went,
be.
I haven't been either. Everyone's like, it's the most beautiful city I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just the whole story of it, right? It's very, very interesting.
And
place.
is it Budapest or is it Budapest? I've heard difference.
I don't know, man.
know.
I'm just gonna say.
Ignorant
How can I
Americans.
say even more American? It's Budapest. You know, like I don't know, like whatever that would be.
Find Budapest on a map.
I'm pretty sure it's near Constantinople.
India,
Is that the song? Anyway, but I think one of the things I do love about Affiliate World is, as an affiliate or an offer owner, if you're looking for the highest performance, especially people that could be aggressive and pushing large numbers, boy, oh, I have seen some of the biggest numbers and really, really successful affiliates flock to those events. There is just traffic galore at Affiliate World, and they're very consistent with turning that out every single time. So if you're an affiliate, especially a high-level affiliate, and you just want to go meet more and learn new strategies and different things, especially in different verticals, whether it's CPL or lots of different ways that people are running traffic at mass scale,
Yeah.
Affiliate Worlds, whether it's Budapest, Dubai, or Affiliate World Asia, which I might have skipped ahead, is coming up. Those are all
Spoilers.
fantastic for it. The other thing is, since it's in Europe, it's a very different blend of affiliates. You're getting European affiliates and people that are driving mass traffic that don't always make it over to domestic events.
Rarely make it over sometimes.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah. So
Travel visas. Who knew?
yeah, right. So it allows you to get exposure to a whole new basis of not only affiliates, but also offer owners. If you're a domestic affiliate, there's people that are doing things that are really, really exciting. And I think one area that I would really focus on if you're interested is you could get people running offers in European and international markets. And what's exciting about that is we've seen already on ClickBank, some of those markets have really, really good conversions because they haven't seen some of these offers before. They haven't seen this type of marketing, but the CPMs are really, really low. And the sizes of the countries aren't small. It's not a de minimis population. So
Yeah.
where it might not have the full scale of the United States, they're really, really great pockets of, I think, highly profitable revenue. So that's another advantage of going to the affiliate world.
I'd say too, this is probably going to be one of the bigger events we're talking about, right? That and Bangkok, like you mentioned, as far as number of attendees.
Yeah.
So thousands versus a couple thousand or hundreds kind of thing. So this is going to be one of the bigger ones out there, which can feel pros and cons, right? Can feel like, oh, well, how can I meet the right people if there's so many people? But what that does is it brings in some of the biggest sponsors, right? Google, Meta, TikTok, right? They often have booths and reps there. If you're trying to figure out why they keep banning your accounts and you really want to nail someone down and get fake answers, you can go do that.
Taboola.
Yeah. And then if you want to figure out the people who know their tricks around that, you can probably find them there too.
Yes, it's quite a full spectrum of everything you need in the affiliate world. Yeah.
So I'd say for this, if you are a media buyer running into blockers, running into problems, you're like, I just need people who know the inside secrets, whether it's at the network directly or the people who work around all those big networks. Really good one to go to. Yeah.
I'd say especially the cutting edge of what people are doing on the media buying space for media buyers, affiliate worlds are a great place
some of the speakers that brought in before who were just talking, this was years ago, talking AI when AI was first blowing up, really what is possible there. You're going to get some really good inside tracks on just the speaker lineup. It's one of the few ones I've seen where the OGs and experts that I know actually enjoy the speaker content. A lot of times they're like, I'm just going to go network.
Yeah, agreed.
But they're actually making time to go see some of these high-level people coming in who are really sharing some juicy nuggets there.
Yeah. Last thing I'll even add to that, I think they have one of the best show floors, like conference floors, going to the booths of any conference I've been to. They do a fantastic. I'll even put that up with what TNC used to be. They really do a fantastic job.
Once we found the affiliate worlds, it really felt like what we missed with TNC, kind of descending and then closing. It was like, this is what we've been looking for again.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's traffic and conversion for the people who are like, what the heck's a TNC, terms and conditions?
It should just be, if you know, you know. Yeah. Right? I try and say the acronym, but I can't. So, it sounds weird. It looks fine typed. It's weird when you say it out loud.
Sounds like a slur. Yeah. Okay.
Well, what's next? What do we have?
This is one of yours. I know I threw this into just
Yes.
sequential. So this is Profit Multiplier.
Yes, Profit Multiplier. So I think we've really been talking about larger scale conferences, but now we're going to bring in travel, I think, a different spin and something that's really powerful in a mastermind. So we have Profit Multiplier Mastermind that's put on by Jordan Hall. I went to the first one last year, and I'm going to tell you, it was one of the very rarely do I just get like really like, holy cow, when I go to an event the first time, like a mastermind in particular. The last time I was this impressed walking into an event was the first Copy Accelerator mastermind I went to many, many moons ago.
Oh, cool.
In terms of high quality room with really exciting ideas and tactics that when you walk away, you feel so ready to ROI. And then the people you talk to are all there to come up. Like, I think the best way to put this, if you are somebody that doesn't like going to events because you feel like it's just a sea of networking and people and you don't want to pull away from your business, stretch yourself socially to just feel like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, how many people are at this usually?
Normally you're looking at maybe, I think he had about 100 the first one. He's hoping to get 150 this time.
That's a great
So
size,
really, perfect, a really great size. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. It's gonna be from the 17th to the 20th in September. So a great time to go see a football game or do some cool stuff in Austin. But what one of the things I think is really impactful, if you're somebody that's like, the big conference stuff, but I really want impactful partnerships, impactful relationships, and strategies that are going to change my business, this is the mastermind for you. Some of the stuff that people were talking about and I learned from that conference were massively impactful.
Who I find with masterminds, it can be really good to know like who's a bad fit for it, right? Like, like who wouldn't make sense to go to Profit Multiplier?
Yeah, one thing I'd say is if you're looking for really aggressive, like say neutral offers, or you want maybe something that's not, how do I put this, like more fly by night, right? This probably isn't going to be the mastermind for you. If you're looking to build something that's like really, really big business, you want multi-channels, you want something that's doesn't have to necessarily be branded, but I would think is...
Are personal brands there too? Like,
yeah, they have personal brands, they have softwares. That's the other thing. It's very diverse.
Cool. Yeah.
So you have low ticket, you have health, you have, there's BizOp.
Is it more info focused?
Not entirely. So there's
yeah.
info, there's still physical. There's a lot of info there because that's where Jordan kind of cut his teeth.
Sure, yeah.
But I would just say it's very high level. The one thing that you shouldn't do if you're there, if you're a newbie, this is not the conference for you.
Cool.
You'll feel overwhelmed. You won't necessarily fit in the room. This is for people that are experienced marketers that are looking to take it to the next level. Or I would tell you this way, if you have not generated a diamond level of success, not necessarily within a year, but in your time in marketing in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
If you have not hit at least 5 million in revenue, this is not the room for you.
Cool.
If you're just starting out, it's not the room for you.
No, great distinction.
If you are not, and you're especially too, if you're like you have an established business and you just want to find the next avenue to expand and explode, this is the conference for you. And I'll give you just a quote. A past guest we had, Jason Katasi, he actually randomly showed up to a mini event that's all a part of this mastermind in Austin. And he just did it on a lark. He was like, it's $1,000. Why not? Just sit down, see what happened. He said it was one of the best things he's been to.
That was a dinner with
Yep.
What was that with? Jay Abraham?
No, that was the first one.
Oh, okay.
We had the dinner with Jay Abraham. No, this was just a really small thing. But
cool. Yeah.
The speakers, and this is why I think it's so impactful, the speakers come to give you real, practical tactics or strategies that are working right now.
Yeah.
So you will leave that room with ROI guaranteed. It's amazing. And so that's where he came out with it. Like, there was so much valuable content. I spoke at it and I felt like a loser to even talk to. I was like, how could I compare? So, but it's really amazing. So I obviously have gleaned too much, but I can't remember the link so off the top of my head, but we'll make sure that's in the show notes. And again, it's really, really fantastic. That'll be a great one. The quality of the room, we mentioned before, the last event had Jay Abraham, you had Ron Lynch, you had some of the best marketers, Joe Stolze, some of the top marketers in the industry sharing, like, Jay Abraham just went
already,
stream of consciousness talking about great deals that he's structured. It was one of the coolest conversations with him I've ever seen before. So really, really cool stuff. I'll stop talking about it because I'll glean for it forever, but that'll be a great one. So what's next?
Next, we've got our very own, the famous ClickBank Platinum Summit, which is October 25th to the 29th in, I should know this, Cancun. Yeah, beautiful Mexico, beautiful resort. The team does an amazing job at finding some great locations to come and celebrate, also learn, network, mingle. To come to this is very exclusive. You have to be a ClickBank Platinum client. So $250K minimum of revenue. And we see everyone from that revenue threshold to multi-nine-figure businesses coming in. So it's a great room to be in. Obviously, direct response heavy. If you're not ClickBank Platinum and going, I wish I could be there next year, you should chat with Kyle and get on board with the ClickBank.
We'll get you there.
Yeah. No, this one of my favorite events ever. It's always a great place to see everybody mix and mingle and just kind of feels very reunion-y. What's been really cool the last couple of years, though, is it seems like every year since Costa Rica event, which I can't remember the date of that, but it seems like every year since then, there's been a fresh influx of new affiliates, new sellers that kind of come in for their first debut in their ClickBank Platinum, whether they're new Platinum. We've been growing like crazy, lots of new Platinums, especially in the media buyer space. So if you're a seller looking for targeted affiliates, great place to be. And what the team's rolling out this year, I was just in a meeting this morning, what they're planning for attendees. I don't want to spoil anything, but really upping personalization and making it for the specific attendees coming a really high value just from the data you're going to be getting if you're coming in as a ClickBank Platinum.
Ooh, that sounds so exciting. It almost makes me want to go this year. But
it took me like 5 years to get to one. I was like, what
it was so weird how that happened for you because you just kept having things pop up like every single time. So, but no, that's so exciting. I think, well, I will say one of the things that is so special about Platinum Summit outside the things you just mentioned, it's everyone's in this self-contained space. So just because it's an all-inclusive resort, you're kind of locked in there. I mean, you can leave, but most people are all going to be there. So you just can't help but just bump into the best marketers and businesses in the world. So it's really, really amazing. And when you talk about the networking, it doesn't have to feel high pressure. You could be patient. You could take time. Great content, great connection. Connect personally first, talk business later, right? It's I would say that the equivalent to this from a mastermind that people might be familiar with that I've heard of is like, think of like baby bathwater, but with this ClickBank direct response space, something where it's like, hey, we don't need to talk about business. It'll happen.
Like if a company had an HR team.
Yes.
And had to run baby bathwater.
Yes, you're right. That's good. If baby bathwater was corporate, that's what it would be. Yeah. So, but I think that's really, really impactful. And I don't know if we've ever had anyone say that it's not one of the best events they go to every year that they attend.
Yeah.
So, really, really fantastic. And if you feel like, maybe even, I tell you right now, if you are close to getting to Platinum, you really, really want to hit there, and you're like this year, if you could drive yourself up there and hit Platinum, reach out to us. We might even see if we could find a way to potentially get you a ticket if you hit it before September, we had said. So
and if you clickbank.com/platinum-summit-2025 is going to be the link to find out more details about that. You do, again, have to be Platinum to actually come, but if you just want to get some FOMO and see what you're going to be missing out,
exactly.
Go check it out. Yeah.
And who knows, there might even be podcasts from there, so you can get even more FOMO. All right, so what's next?
So this one, we're going back in time a little bit. So Platinum Summit's October 25th to 29th, but I did really want to highlight this event. If you're not ClickBank Platinum, but still doing big volume, you just like to listen to us because we're so smart and bring on the best guests, and Affiliated is an awesome podcast. A, thank you for watching. But B, you're like, oh, okay, I can't make Platinum. What the heck am I going to do? The week before-ish, is Amber Spears' 4 Rooms big event. So what they do, how Amber structures the 4 Rooms Mastermind is when you join the annual Mastermind, you get to go to all the intensives right throughout the year, which is similar to kind of what Jordan Hall does a little bit. But she does a big annual event where you can kind of pay a ticket price to attend, and it feels very similar size, usually 150-ish. I think this one's 250 people or up to that. And this is October 17th to the 20th in San Diego. So very easy to get to. It's going to be beautiful in San Diego in October. Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
If you Google 4 Rooms Mastermind San Diego, you'll find a link to this. We'll include the link below. It's a bit of a mouthful to highlight here. But this is one of my favorite rooms to be in, right? It is a great... Amber's got a large network in the direct response space. She's grown a very large network in more of the e-com, big brand, personal brand space. Thought leader space. Yeah. And this melding of those and makes a very unique room where you can really learn some parallel strategies to what you're probably doing on either side and go, oh, I need to get better at customer acquisition. If I'm more e-com, great. You're probably going to learn a lot from this more DR focused, brand response kind of focused people. And if you're on the other side, learning how to ascend customers and lifetime value, how to actually build a brand channel if you want to do that. Some great agencies are there. What I'm very impressed with is just how supportive that room is with each other and how much they help each other out and how open they are to everything. I think we experienced that in a lot of the rooms we're in that we've already mentioned, but Amber does an amazing job at cultivating and really protecting that and making that a core focus.
No, I haven't been to the large event, but I had the opportunity to go to an intensive, and holy cow, you're 100% right. I would describe it as good vibes. There's such a good vibe around that event in terms of that inclusive openness to really elevate businesses. That's what I think when I think of where it's a really good fit. If you're looking to go to the next level, whatever that next level is, hey, I'm really good at this one thing. We're good here, but we're looking to really level up, whether it's level up as a business owner, because you need to start hiring people and expanding your team.
I'm glad you mentioned that because this is for business owners, right? And kind of execs. This is for a higher level entrepreneur. Why it's called 4 rooms is that they're not so much focusing on just traffic, split funnel, affiliates. It's about really you as the entrepreneur and what you need to do in your area of life that you're trying to focus on, whether it's health, that's a core, one of the rooms, right? Wealth, how you actually make money and keep it and grow it in other ways. She's bringing experts on real estate investment, for example, or other types of investments so you can actually take your wealth and grow it in other channels, tax advisors, things like that. I got a lot of personal benefit from it. It really got me on a health track. I've lost 50 pounds over the last year and a half kind of thing.
Stop bragging. You're flexing the guns today. Look at that.
So it's,
Wait. Do you still have tennis arm? Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Tennis arm?
Like one arm's a lot bigger than the other? Do we not remember the Rafa Nadal?
Oh, yeah. No, right arm is definitely dense.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. So the way she focuses on you as a person, and this, again, if you're more I just want business hacks, might sound woo-woo. The level of development I see people in this kind of room and just on a personal level and how that relates to business overall, because they're also learning all the business stuff there too, is very impactful. And the focus they put on operations, which we're both nerds about, I really appreciate that too. So.
I do. And that's what I think. If you really want to go from I think when I put this, because I put it this way, Amber's focus in 4 rooms isn't on your business, it's on you and what your business does for you. And that's so unique to anywhere else I've seen. And that's where I think if you're coming in and you really want to level up yourself, and yourself as not just an entrepreneur, but a business owner, 4 rooms to me is one of the best rooms to jump in there, because Amber, like you said, she brings them such high level, amazing speakers and people from her network that are exactly where you want to be and be able to connect with them. But the value is just so diverse. And because of that, I think, like you said, the people that have been around Amber's Circle for a long time, you could just see that community, and people are so, it reminds me a lot of like the feel of Flight Club in terms of that community. For another mastermind out there, it's really, really solid. But they're just something unique. It's really got Amber's flair and just her feel all over it. And if you met Amber, you'll understand why you need to go. And if you haven't, you need to, because it's really, really impactful for them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the dates lined up so close to each other with our Platinum Summit and 4 rooms. But yeah, sometimes it's just how things shake out and how we need to nail down times for different things. So that's a bummer. But again, if you aren't a ClickBank Platinum and still high level and want to go network and mingle and really get a lot of value in that same time period, that 4 rooms event in San Diego, October 17th to the 20th, Google that, check out the link below. Just learn more about it.
And if you're just a glutton for a good time, just do both.
Yeah.
There's
do both.
there's
going to be plenty doing both because, that time frame does allow for a turnaround and getting to the other one.
Exactly. And I don't think San Diego to Cancun's all that hard. I know I'm looking at you, Dylan, as a flight expert, but
you
Dylan,
know travel. Yeah.
you have a camera. That means you go everywhere. And then from there, so what do we have next? That's it. We have 2 masterminds. We have another conference in there.
To wrap up the finale, if you will, this is... I love how they sell this one oftentimes. They sell it as like, hey, you need a tax write-off? It's like, this is Affiliate World Asia in Bangkok, December 3rd and 4th. So
this event,
which really means since you're traveling to Bangkok from the U.S., it's like December 1st to the 9th, but to recover from it.
Yeah.
But this is affiliateworldconferences.com/Asia. And please take this one away for.
This is an event I've wanted to attend for so long. But why they have to do the beginning of December with 4 kids And it's just like,
No, they're not catering as much to the American audience here.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like,
It's always for like anyone that's like holiday season oriented. It's
Yeah.
like, But I think one of the things I've heard so many times, this is one of the best conferences that people go to. And one of the most impactful reasons outside the fact that Thailand is fun and you could definitely spend a lot more freely to get those tax write-offs ready right before the end of the year. But you are dealing with a very, very unique, and I would think it brings the affiliates and offer owners, and especially the affiliates of that part of the world. And this might be the only
yeah, you
event
get
they
the
go to that
Singapore,
year.
Malaysian,
Yeah.
Indian. You're right. You get a lot more diverse crowd than you would at, say, Affiliate
Yes.
Summit East, Affiliate even Budapest or in Barcelona. You see some overlap, but this one feels very unique. Yeah.
Very unique. And I think that especially the timing of that, when you have your offers ready and you know Q1's coming up and you want to supercharge your traffic to have the best Q1 of your life, Affiliate World Asia could be the secret sauce to making that happen, because these are affiliates that they're all coming looking for Q1. Everyone's got Q1 in mind. They're all dialing up for it. And if you haven't been, you're going to be exposed to affiliates you've never met before, and a lot of them. So it's a fantastic route to go. And if you've ever been on the affiliated podcast or shared any ClickBank content, there's a good chance people want to take pictures of you. So Michael enjoys it every year. I think he gets a whole special lineup of outfits just to make sure that his selfies at Affiliate World Asia are going to be on fire and fit with his socials. So, but yeah, that's a big one. Really exciting. Plus, who does not want to go eat food in Thailand?
Yeah.
I just, oh my gosh,
yeah.
like
I know
my
Dom
coconut
and I
milk
went
dreams.
there to this event probably 6-7 years ago, maybe. And it was kind of too early for ClickBank. We weren't doing CPA payments yet, things like that. And we're like, oh, can't really play in the space. It's a lot of just like performance media buyers who need that feature. And that was like, I think it was around 500 people at that point. I think now it's around 4,000 to 6,000 people that are going to the same event. So it's grown a ton. Again, Affiliate Worlds, we've talked about it on this already. They run a great event. But the diversity of types of media you'll see there and the brands there are going to be different than what you're seeing. And there's usually some really good masterminds and other tight events before and after. Usually they're outside of Thailand, or excuse me, usually they're outside of Bangkok and some other cities and things like that. So if you're looking to make an even bigger tax write-off and go pet a tiger or something, you can do that on a beach.
Please don't
lots
pet
of
a tiger.
pictures.
Yeah. Well, at least maybe no, just don't pet a tiger, guys. We watch enough Tiger King. We know how that goes. We didn't forget, right?
Ride an elephant. I don't know. Yeah, dude. There's lots of stuff out there to do, and yeah, I don't
Have a chimpanzee stake or a monkey take your wallet or something.
lots of stuff. No, then that I'm sure there's other events out there that are worth going to that we haven't covered here. If we missed yours, I'm very sorry.
Well, I'm going to add one other one that we did
please.
miss,
Ooh,
and I
secret.
should have. But if you're going to Affiliate World Budapest, another really great way to extend a trip, especially if you're flying, I would say if you're flying from the States and you're going over there, there is, what is it? AW Summit in Bucharest.
Oh yeah.
So, and Bucharest and Budapest are very close together, not just in name, but also in distance. So, in fact, last year at Affiliate World Budapest, there was a group of clients, people.
Oh yeah,
they did
trip,
a
right?
they did a van, basically like a bus, and
Party
just drove
bus
it down.
from
Yep.
It's a Eurotoured from
Yeah.
trip,
So,
yeah.
but really cool time, and that's another great conference. Very small and targeted. It's kind of a little bit different, but they have some really nice Nutra affiliates there and Nutra focus. And given the amount of successful marketers in Romania in the direct response space, really, really great event. Especially if you are in Nutra and in direct response, you might as well double up with your time. So I just want to give a good shout out to AW Summit, and we will get the notes for that. And I don't remember the dates, but it's like very soon after Budapest, and we'll put that in the show notes.
I love how they just combine Affiliate World and Affiliate Summit to just Affiliate World Summit.
Yeah.
Causing no shortage of confusion on my part over the years.
Exactly. I've never mixed up those names and said the wrong thing. I know we spent a ton of time talking about events, but now let's just do a real quick thing. If you want to know how to be successful at the event, there's actually a past episode that we'll find and put in the show notes where we discuss that in more depth.
Yes.
But one thing we didn't talk about that I want to talk about with the condensed time that I think is really important is follow-up. How do you make sure that all this travel actually monetizes afterwards? So Thomas, I just want to know if you're going to give a couple of tips that you could throw out there for the people to really focus on their follow-up so they don't miss out as their brain is spinning and from airport to airport.
Well, I would say, first off, be smarter, not work harder in this scenario, right? Where if you're going to every single one of these, you're going to justify it in your brain. I see the people who do that. they don't really ROI any single one event. They just feel like it does without really any clear delineation of what. So I'd really get tactical on why you're traveling to these and which ones you're going to, and give yourself time to actually do some follow-up and capitalize on the past event before you have to pack your bags and get to the next one.
Yeah.
Because that's where we both face it as BDMs here. It's like we're paid to close business from these events, and when they stack up, you get like just in this washing machine of, wait, who was that person? Where were they? All this kind of stuff. So some little tactical things you can do while you're at the events is have some sort of basic CRM in place to kind of put the people you meet, so you can at least have a log and where you're tracking. This could be as simple as a notes app.
Yeah.
But ideally, it's something that actually helps you execute or helps an assistant execute or a team execute some follow-up and book calls so you can actually have some calls afterwards. And what that looks like for me anyway is whether you just met someone and you know you want to follow up with them, you're taking a selfie with them, you're getting some sort of way to actually remember who the heck they were, not just a name.
The selfies are one biggest benefit I've changed in my like follow-up life is taking pictures with people.
Or at least a descriptive note.
Yeah.
Right? Guy with a fun pink jacket.
Something.
We chatted about this, follow up about why, and make it clear that this is someone I want to talk to again, not just they were cool to know, don't really know what we would do. You probably don't need to follow them directly past like a, hey, great to know you. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
But
even one sentence that tells you what you wanted from
Yes.
that or the highlight of it. I would also add a scoring system. Like you should have a scoring system of follow-up and lead quality. Because it's not to say that not every lead or connection isn't valuable, but some should be focused on more than others. And that always helped me to, you have a scoring system that predicates what your follow-up will be. So you don't even have to think about it. You just know, okay, these people go into this system, I do this thing, and then you have a tier system afterwards. That's helped me be more efficient. I still am always looking to be more efficient, but that's when this
I found like I used to do this. I'll do this on the plane when I'm traveling back because I'll have downtime, and I'd get some of it, wouldn't remember half of it, and it'd be all over the place. And I got to the point where if I just have downtime in an Uber between this party and that party, I'm trying to put in who I just found. I got to the point where we use Salesforce here, right, which is our CRM. I was just trying to put in people as fast as I could as a lead because it was fast and easy and some basic notes. And then I knew I was at least catching things in as real time as possible so I wouldn't forget it later.
Yeah.
Even notepads written, I just write things down. And I knew that it was going to be in my written notepad, in a notes app on my phone, or in Salesforce. And I could check those places and make sure it was in Salesforce. And if I had all those things synced up by the end of the day before my head hit the pillow, I was pretty good. And I wasn't necessarily worried about following up right then because everyone's busy during the event. You don't need to follow up during the event. It's when you get back and everyone's kind of settled. But I knew I was actually catching the things I needed to.
Yeah. No, I think definitely never fall into you're totally right. The pitfall of I'll do it on the ride home never works. Just doesn't work. I don't know why, at least not for me. I've never been successful with that. So, but I do like the idea of like giving yourself that time. So as soon as, if you're done with a networking event, it's a great time to recap, especially that's when I'll recap on my extra value leads. Like I want to get those in right away. The other thing that I do is I don't necessarily do well at night, but when I wake up in the morning, I tend to be more of an early person anyway. So before the day gets started, it's a recap of going through everything you had and documenting as close to real time as you can. One thing I'm going to try with the next event, using AI. So doing an AI audio recap any single time. And then I'm just going to have AI take all those audio notes and put it based on my same scoring system into a really easy to follow up with format. Which hopefully will work. We'll see. Maybe we'll do an update of this episode afterwards. I'll do a quick mention. But I think finding those tools for fast feedback is going to be so key. And then again, making sure you follow up. Now, one question I have, what's your thought process on the right time for follow-up? How soon, how quickly, and then what's also too long? Like when have you realized that you're probably not going to get anywhere with that lead? This will be our last question too. We'll finish it, guys. This is longer than we thought. But yeah,
I'd say when you get back from your travels, like a day or two after that is a good time to start, right? Especially if it's international and there's a lot of international people coming in for it. People have time to get back. They've got to get settled too. They're probably not seeing things. You can follow up as soon as you'd like to and send something over because maybe they have an assistant who's watching. Maybe they can forward it just to get someone to book a call. Just make it short, make it to the point, have a calendar link there. Right. Ideally, you've got some sort of note on, hey, this is me. We chatted about Dex. Great to meet you. Would love to chat more. You can find a time here or shoot me in a calendar link. Give them a way for you to book a time with them if it's important to you. And you can do it as early as you'd like, but definitely have follow up for a week or two later, right, post event. So when things are settled, you're actually coming to the top of their inbox, not just buried in everyone who's following up with them.
Yeah, because that's one of the things you realize too. They're going to go through. Most of us have the experience of you get back and you have inbox shock. You're like,
Let's get all the event sponsors
yep.
sending out all their things, right? It's just, there's a lot coming in.
It gets real clustered. And so, I think I actually do really like that if you're doing the follow-up, one thing, if you take the selfie picture, send that with your follow-up as a great reminder. But again, that's why like the scoring system, that helps me figure out when to do the follow-up for people. So sometimes if they're like really the super valued leads, I will do those as soon as possible, like as soon as I can. Sometimes on the plane ride back, in the airports, especially when it's international, because they're like, oh, what am I going to do? 3 hours in Amsterdam. I guess I'll respond to some stuff.
That's a great point. Yeah, the downtime people have on the travel. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Especially when you pick miserable flight processes like me. So I'm
you and other Kyle don't understand.
Listen, there might be a long flight to get there, but I could get home faster, and that's what matters the most to me, at least from the time I touch down. Or like leaving the night after our event in Dubai at 2 a.m. That's always a weird one. But yeah, I think doing that way. And then the other thing is, I will say that if it's been 2 weeks and you haven't followed after the event, your likelihood of getting anything after that drops substantially. Yeah. So try and get it within a 10-day window would be my recommendation for all your follow-up. It's not to say you can't still try, especially if they're your lower valued leads, but anything after 10 days, or after 14 days, it gets pretty tenuous that anyone's going to even remember or care afterwards. So with that, we covered a lot of stuff. That was a long episode, but a great one. I love some pillow time and all that pillow talk. So with that though, Thomas, anything else you want to tell people before we kick off event season, or just want to happy scale it out?
I'd say one more URL for y'all to check out is just clickbank.com/events.
Oh my gosh, how did I not think about that?
Yeah,
so
good thing I'm here.
Yes. If the amount of time I miss internal resources, we don't want to count that. We don't want to make that a drinking game. People will not ever be able to make it through an episode. Well, with that, guys, please rate, review, subscribe, ding the bell so you never miss out on the next episode as they come. And also, I'm going to do a shout out. And my gosh, I said I was going to put his name. We really appreciate the feedback. We even had an affiliate, a longtime listener, reach out after one of our episodes and talk about the inspiration of what they're looking for, some help with us, and we're now engaging with that individual, trying to give them value and give them exactly what they need. So please reach out to us at affiliated@clickbank.com. Thomas does read those emails and occasionally forward them over to me. So we want to
the worst secretary we've ever had.
But we really do appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your questions. And most importantly, we appreciate the nice things you say about Thomas, because he puts them on his wall and reads them every single night. So,
I need validation.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. That is what fuels me. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And with that, what do we tell the people, Thomas?
Happy scaling.
Until next time, guys, hug your pillows tight.